There it is.
Ravens live.
Hitman Holla. 2031 Hitman Holla. We talk about the news clippings. When we looking at 2031, we really on our way into 2032. 10 years in. Very, 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 very long football decade. Think about it. It's been a decade where guys ain't making the playoffs. It's been decades with all types of events happening. But a whole decade of football, I'm excited. How you feel over there in Washington?
I feel all right.
I mean, they ushering a new era of football players, man. Got to get to it as always. Try to reload, retool, develop what you got, and keep it moving. And as we closing into our intro, Game of Thrones, the theme music's 5. All right, so 2031, we are at the end of the regular season. A lot to talk about today. We got diaper dandies conversations. We want to know what legends went crazy in their first year. As you can see, look up there, Sean Teller went bonkers with 18 picks on the year, 8 deflections. So he had a good rookie outing. Expectations. Work cut out for the number one selected H-back Barry Sanders in Detroit. How do you feel like that went? They picked their legacy player in Barry Sanders, man. I thought he had a pretty solid year.
Yeah, I think that was a good fit.
Yes, sir. Would the Panthers really trade Silas Stoudemire? Rumors are swirling. After a breakdown regarding his role, the 49ers have announced they are open to trade talks for John Taylor. Damn, we got some movement looking like wild to hear. The Lions are looking to move on from Jared Judge. Some movement going on, man. Some movement going on. There were fireworks in Atlanta, and the Rams outpaced the Falcons 69-42. Boom. Look, man, Curtis Martin Jr. has crossed the goal line a record number of times this season, tallying up a record-setting 41 touchdowns for the Houston Oilers. I mean, it was solidified in the Houston versus Houston matchup. The Texans versus the Oilers. Oilers came through and stumped the state and said, "This is our state. We are Houston." I know we're fresh new, but we are Houston. And Curtis Martin went off 5 receiving touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns in the game versus the Texans, man, and that solidified something that he's done that now we can absolutely say no other running back in this league has ever done. And we'll get to that when we get to the Statty Patty conversation of it, man. No pun intended, Pat. Statty Patty. All right, Houston to be thrilled about Curtis Martin toppling the single season touchdown mark. I think we're going to be spending a lot of time on records, right? With 18 interceptions this year, Sean Teller now holds the record for most interceptions. I mean, that has to be amazing. As a rookie, you come in and break the interception record right away. Right away. Perhaps the most feared defender in the NFL, Sean Teller. I mean, when you think of the shell or the actual player of Sean Teller, he was headed in that direction as the most feared defender in the NFL. And right now, we're seeing the clone of it happening in Seattle. Shit crazy.
Three of the top 5 rookies from the NFC are safeties.
Say that again. I was reading my boy Jimbo shit.
3 of the top 5 rookie of the year top 5 rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the years are safeties
Oh
for the
God,
NFC side.
on the NFC side, that's crazy. Um, Jimbo responded in the way I know he would respond, right? Where damn, dropping the 30 is fucking me up, but guess what? We'll be good 100. Just move on from it. It's just that simple, right? Just gotta move on and figure it out. You're gonna build your roster through the draft. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be some free agents there. I mean, some guys just gonna hit free agency, but
Definitely.
but you'll be surprised that everything in there right now getting dropped to normal as well. So you ain't gonna be. It could be a 24-year-old in that bitch right now. You going to normal. All the free agency, and it's closed, so don't think you're gonna go in there shopping right now. Knock it off. Don't even think about it. We will see it. We will ask you to cut them, or we're just gonna drop the player ourselves. Everything sitting in free agency going down. Anything that's 20. How about we do an age? What do you think? What's a good age to start? 26 and older.
Yeah, 26 is a good
26
age.
and older. If they're in free agency at 26 years old and older, we're gonna drop them down. They're going down. We need to clean the league to be able to get back to the breakouts and things of the special sorts. Don't worry, fellas. You know the draft is going to be crazy for the next 2 to 3 drafts. Don't even worry about it. It's going to get right back to Funkadelic. Funky Baptist Delic Oxytocin. The Thunderbirds cannot be stopped. They take out the Lions 56-20. The Thunderbirds is on an all natural high right now. Justin Fields, in his last running as a Bear/Thunderbird and Walton connection for the 3 touchdowns during the Thunderbirds victory over the Lions. We're not going to see that connection going forward, right? Walton to be around, but Justin Fields will not. So expectations is all it comes down to, man. Expectations. All right, fellas, it's been a long season. It's been an up and down, quiet season. It's been, not a lot of loud noise in the chat really going on. We had some here and there's, but nothing that really was explosive. Um, I will say this as a Baltimore Ravens GM, head coach, player, whatever you want to call me over there. We had an up and down year this year. At times it looked a little shaky coming off back-to-back Super Bowl losses. Man, I think our team kind of lacked some confidence this year and found their way down the back end. No homo, no Snoop, stretch and all that. Now, how you feel about your season this year, man? I mean, I've seen a lot of turnover on your roster as well. Although, when you had that, I got a luxury to pick, I don't really need shit. But then you start playing those, I don't really need shit. They just luxury picks, and you start making those guys a complete part of your system. It's going to be turnover and turmoil, right? Playing with new toys usually has a little period of breaking it in. No Snoop, I mean no Diddy, but breaking it in and getting used to what you got on the field matters, right? So talk to me a little bit about the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, the chemistry was all off with that
Exactly.
move. I had to get back to my roots. To go on this 5-game stretch at the end of the season. It was the play-in.
Yep.
It was the play-in for me. When I go home, and
And if
everybody
I
stepped up.
and if I was gonna say, you put your hard hat on, you laced your boots up. and you went to work. We did the same. We had to do the same thing. We went on like a 7-game streak, and in the mix of it, I got a first win. Actually, got 2 first wins: the Bengals and the Rams. So it kind of put us at ease not having to play the Rams at all in the regular season. That's a team that you just want to see in the Super Bowl if that happens. Other than that, you don't really want to play that team. I'll tell you one thing: Danny Werfel started that game. Him knowing he wasn't going to be around. I think he set it up where, or maybe Danny's the quarterback. I don't know, but I do know AR-15 is that man over there. But I'm gonna tell you like this: Danny Werfel, remember, you was on headset with me, 12 for 12 in that game before he threw one incomplete pass. I mean, when I seen that offense, I saw the fun and gun, and it's crazy because the computer will play to your style of play. If you're doing the right shit when you have your offense defense, when guys play your computer, your team will play like you if you're doing the right things. And I saw the fun and gun, and I thought, oh my god, because they're wrong in my ear where he has spoken to me like, you need to do something, you need to start doing this and da 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 da, little little personal coach to coach conversation, and I saw it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I see it, I completely see it. All right, with that being said, though, hit us some rookies. Disappoint anybody that you thought um from the legend. Let's go to Mount Rushmore's legends, not just any legend, just from the Mount Rushmore's, those names that are names, the guys that are in the upper room in the Hall of Fame. Any of those guys disappoint you this year?
I started Danny W. once you mentioned the drop.
I can't think of any
Preparations for
off the top of
following
my head.
seasons. AR been on bench since.
I figured that motherfucker was out there dying me, Jimbo. I'm talking about 8 for 8. Then he went 12 for 12, and I was like, I'm sending the D. Fuck that. But go ahead. What you were saying? Not nothing off the hand without looking at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna deep dive into the rookies. Definitely gotta talk about the legends, man. We definitely gotta talk about what's great going. As of right now, though, it's that time for us to advance the league to the wild card round, and we get right into it. Award show and all the good shit popping up. So let's talk about it. All right, look at that matchup. Week 1 rematch. Ooh, God. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's get to it for right now. Let's get right to it, and let's start with who went crazy. Hit and follow me. Right now, we're going to the player stats, and we want to see what the fuck went down in the world of football right now. Let's talk about quarterbacks. All right, so this season, Justin Fields is our passing leader. Okay, 6,685 yards, 80 touchdowns, only 14 interceptions, and he was 74 completion percentage on the year, 393.2 yards a game, 144.5 QBR, 13.2 yards down the field. So he wasn't, as much as the check down game was available to him, he wasn't checked down. He'd been sacked 32 times in 17 games played. Longest play was 98 yards. The Thunderbirds / Bears, their offense was prolific this year. Would you agree with me?
Yeah. I had to go through that gauntlet.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of us. Flat out, just beat the shit out of us. I ain't nothing else to talk about. They just whooped our ass. Um, yeah, they hitting on all cylinders right now. Justin Fields is saying, I'm going out with a fucking bang. He is not playing with nobody right now. Like, so, would you say, with the play of Justin Fields, especially at 74 completion percentage, would you say, would you call them the favorites in the NFC this
That,
year?
that, that was MVP issues right there. You got to call them the
Anthits.
favorite. They're the number 1 seed over here.
I like the fact that the turnover bug wasn't available for them this year. Like 14 INTs is crazy. 80 touchdowns, that 14, that 80 to 14 ratio, and 74% on the year was amazing. That's like really good on the year. So that's our quarterback that had the passing yard. He's the top passer of the year, and I'm assuming touchdowns come right along with it. 80, the next man to him, 15 behind. I will also think completion percentage. I want to get away from these 100 guys that played 205 snaps, and let's think about it. All right, Colin, don't count. Trevor Lawrence was 75% on the years
75%. Yeah.
on the year. for
AR
5,863
74,
yards.
Justin Fields
AR, yes,
74.
sir. I mean, guys, like the guys that played and got numbers, they played. AR was 74% on the year. Yeah. I mean, even Herbert, look at Herbert with 72 completion percentage.
Brock Purdy
Brock Purdy
72.
played out there in Saints neighborhood. He was 72% as well. And then you got Steve Young.
Max Duval, computer love.
Yes, 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 yes. Duval, computer love. I can't ask nobody else. All right, let's get to the rushing game right now. And, we're going to come back to this, but we got to talk about this. I mean, the most carries on the year was from Curtis Martin Jr. A passing attack turned running attack this year, 376 carries. So he had that. The rushing title is going to, not only is he winning the rushing title this year, he shattered that bitch and broke every record known to man at the running back position. Curtis Martin Jr. went crazy this year for 3,327 yards. This man averaged 9 yards a carry and had 41 on the ground. 196 yards a game and only 2 fumbles on 376 carries. He had 106 broken tackles this year, almost 1,000 yards after contact. His longest run was 88 yards right now. Oh my God. 765 snaps on the year right now. I mean, I don't know if there's anywhere else to go. Curtis dominated the running game this year from every category, from attempts to yards, damn near average touchdowns, or average per game, and at least amount of fumbles. And that 106 broken tackles, that means something to me. How important is that, especially for the playoffs coming up right now? I mean, the guy is breaking tackles. I mean, the next man to him is 51 behind you.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. You think you got
Jesus.
a guy in your grasp and he slips up out of it, you know.
And
That's
in a league where everybody hitting hard, no homo, no diddy,
right. Not even
everybody,
that. Stops matter in this league, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And for him, what I was going at is 2 fumbles though, 106 broken tackles. That means he hitting that X button coming up out of shit, and he didn't fumble at all. Rarely, like 2 of them on a year is amazing. I mean, Curtis Martin. He was the number 2 pick a couple of drafts ago. Number 2 overall pick a couple of drafts ago, and this is using your roster. This is getting the guy involved. So Curtis Martin Jr. with the rushing title all the way across the board. Let's look at the receiver room, and let's take a look at who had the most catches on the year. And his last outing, Jackson Smith-Njigba with 128 catches. I mean, Mr. Slot, right? Like he's the definition of what a slot receiver is. And he's done it for almost 10 years straight, right? 9 years straight. Jackson Smith-Njigba has damn near had 100 catches in double digit. He's been in the 20s every year when it comes down to touchdowns. So you're looking at the most catches in the season. I don't know if that's the most, but 128 is the record this year. So he has the reception leader this year. And yards wise, now that goes back to Perry Walton, almost 3,000 yards, 29-23. Perry Walton again, 6'6", 225 pounds. When you look at his average is 26.8 yards a play. 171 yards on the year right now at 6'6", 225. I spoke upon him like since he's been in the league. He's been a 6'6", 225, right? That's that outside go get it type of receiver, and that's not how he plays the game. This guy is not. He's not handicapped to anything on a route tree. He can run when I say any route, he can run any route. They can use him in any way they want. They can do jet sweeps with him. They can do bubble screens, the RPO game. He can play the short game. He could catch the ball in traffic. He could be a slot. He could be everything for him. And the fact is, of the matter is that Corey used him in that way, where he used him as a weapon. I mean, he was the number 1 receiver over there, and he got busy as the number 1 receiver over there. So obviously he takes the rushing to the league receiving yards title. Now, as far as per play, Sterling ain't played enough to get that. We're gonna go right to touchdowns, and we're gonna go Perry Walton with 38, 10 more than Jackson Smith-Njigba. And did I see 41 touchdowns from the running back when we were just looking at the running back stats, right? You do know he caught the ball out the backfield for 1,300 yards and 22 touchdowns. He was the old Jets offense. This is fucking crazy. Where are we?
63 touchdowns.
We gonna get to it though. I mean, league MVP for sure.
63 touchdowns.
But this is not his shine right now. This is Perry Walton's shine. Perry Walton meaning he's the touchdown receiving leader, he's the yardage receiving leader, and he's the reception receiving leader in his third season. Shout out to Perry Walton and that Thunderbird offense over there. All right, let's take a look at defense right now and see who had the most tackles. We're not looking at computer love, but Zach Thomas is in the building. They go diaper dandy though, 128 on the year. Ryan Shazier, he got to put a junior on that name. Remind me to put a junior on that. Tackle for losses. Let's see who had the most tackle for losses on the year. Khalif Anderson, the Houston Oilers, he had 38 on the year.
Matthew Sharpton for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it's
Mean
counting
Joe
everybody.
Green from the Orbits.
Yep, Mean Joe Green. You got Cameron Haywood. You got to put a junior on. You got to put a junior on his name too. All right. So 38 was the high, and let's look at the sacks. Jules Peppers had 22 and a half. I mean, Tuli Tupiolo Lotu had 22 as well. 20 out of Khalif D tackle. That's nuts. And then DT Teller also had 20. Looks like Jimbo had some pass rush going on. 2 DNs turning that corner for 20 plus. That's amazing. Turning the corner for 20 plus. Shit, I haven't done that with 2 of them doing that since year 2. Shout out to these guys putting in that work like that. George Peppers is our sack leader this year. 22 and a half.
Rookie was Lawrence Taylor with 9.5.
Damn, it really ain't no rookie that was going crazy. Hold on. Yeah, you're 100% right. 100% right. These rookie edge rushers better get it together. Shit. Yep.
Oh no, Jared Allen with 11.5 NFC.
Where he at?
He not on the list.
And you said NFC?
Yeah, yep, and Reggie White with 13.5 for the Colts.
Yep, I just ran into Reggie White. Reggie White.
Yeah.
Yep. And then NFC, you said Jared Allen, right?
Yeah, Jared Allen. Was it Jared Allen? Yeah.
AFC. Jared Allen. Where you at, Jared? Reggie White. Jared is in the NFC, right?
Yeah, Jared in NFC, Reggie in the AFC.
How many Jared had?
11.5.
Oh, all right. I'll go down some. There we go. Yep. Okay. And the Giants was looking for a pass rusher, and they found it in Jared. So that's what's up. All right. Let's look at the interception leader, and I think we were stuck on Sean Teller with 18. How about Mike with Teller Kennedy at 17, and then Trey Wynn with 15 for the Thunderbirds. Aaron Glenn Jr. had 12. Mike Ware had 12 as well. Brent English with 11. Got a couple of 11. Cisco, old ass, had and DeMarcus Hightower 11. And your boy Edwin Thurston been doing it year in and year out there with 11. Jimbo, do me a favor, bro. These guys are all in the draft, so throw juniors on the back of your guys' names for me. Or the second, the third. Like, throw those on the back of those guys' names. Like how I got Deion Sanders too. Shit like that, like 3 or juniors. And try and roll.
The fourth.
The fourth.
The fourth of his name.
The fourth of his name. The name of the fourths. Alright, so that's our stats leaders and going on. So shout out to all those guys that are taking home plaques for being the stat winners of this year's 2031 season 9 season. Now, let's get to some of the juicy shit before we get to the goofy shit. Yearly awards. Let's go right to the Coach of the Year, and that goes to Coach Falk Oilers. Wins Coach of the Year. Now we're looking at MVP, and it goes to Curtis Martin Jr. And when you talk about MVPs, right, and we've seen a share, our few, you know what I'm trying to say. We've seen quite a fair share. There we go. We've seen a fair share of award winners right now. But the fact that this guy had 22 receiving touchdowns, 1,300 receiving yards, 90 catches on the year, and then rushed for 3,000 plus, breaking the record, NFL record, and 41 rushing touchdowns. Where would you sit him amongst MVPs?
He might be the GOAT MVP this year.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, think about AR-15. Since I talked about dropping 30-year-olds, he hasn't had seen the field since. So, and the fact that he's still in third place matters to me, right? What happened if he'd
Yeah,
have played
15,
him,
15 games on the season, and he still put up awesome numbers.
right? And he finished third on the list in 15 games. It's crazy. That's crazy. But as we watch Justin Fields and his going out party was number 2 on this list. Trevor Lawrence and his going out party was number 4 on this list. Walton number 5. They get top 5. But how about Michael Vick sitting at 6? You watched me and Rob's last game. Michael Vick might
That
be the fastest
dude,
fucking quarterback I ever seen in
that
my life.
motherfucker slippery.
Oh my God, bro! Like when the connection not running bad, you see the control you can have over your quarterback, bro. Like or over your players,
He
period.
had to
Because
throw that in there. She just had
I'm just
to.
keeping it 100, bro. Like it's a big difference, bro. That I know it affect me big time. But like when you can move like that, bro, and you ain't got to worry about the shit fast forwarding on you, or you don't got control of your player and shit. Like you can do things like that. You like just think about that. He was backed up in the red zone. Remember that shit?
Yeah, he looked
And
like
how
a
he,
zero-turn lawnmower out
yeah,
there,
like how
man.
he just got the fuck up out of there like that. Like, oh my God, that was disgusting. And you can't do that when the connection ain't running good. And we had a solid game, solid connection game, and you saw it on both ends of control. There's a difference when you can catch the ball or you can navigate with your user when things ain't holding you back. And Mike Vick, man. All right, any other rookie on here? Steve Young. He showed up in the MVP conversation this year. How about Jada Styles and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Rebirth of Jada Styles, right? I mean, you get a coach to come in and he takes the team and he has to deal with the players he had. And the good thing is, and it's the crazy thing, isn't Peyton Manning over here on this roster?
I believe he is. I think, yeah.
And he went with Jada Styles. Now think about that.
Yes, sir.
And here's the thing, and you tell me wrong. Here's the thing where it's going to be guys that's going to need quarterbacks that's losing their quarterbacks. If you get what I'm saying, right? That's going to be losing these 30-year-olds. And
High
Peyton Manning is
commodities.
chilling and probably going to take over unless he really loves Jada Styles. I don't know how old Jada Styles is. Jada Styles been in the league since Foe was in the league, so he got to be kind of getting close to that 30-year-old range. He got to be at least 27, 28.
26.
Only 26.
Only 26. A lot of tread left on them tires.
I mean, what do you do? Like, first of all, they have the 3rd seed this year after not winning a game for 2 years straight.
5 years left on this contract.
We got people waiting in the wings.
And my question is, after that was great go there, bro. And people called you crazy when you had Beeman waiting in the wings like that, right? People was calling, oh my God, you wasting him. Why you don't trade him? This and that. But like Roger just answered the question, answered right what I was great go to. Peyton gonna have to, do something he never did in his life, which is wait to play. I don't think that Jada Styles he can go out right now and lose his playoff game, and he earned the right to be the starter next year, didn't he?
Oh, you damn right he did.
I love it right now,
4,600 yards on the season, 48 touchdowns.
I want to talk about Rob for a second and Mike Vick, boy, because I wasn't thinking about dropping everybody and all that, boy. You lucky you got Mike Vick. Rob, you're amazing in the sense of good job. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the second part about it is if there was anybody that I really, first of all, and it could be because he's my boy or whatever I want to say. But the fact that he went to the Houston Oilers, that was nasty in my opinion. But it all started with Jimbo going to St. Louis first, keeping the uniforms and all that stuff, but going to St. Louis. Then Guns left Vegas and went to Oakland. But I love the fact that Falk brought original uniforms back and a team logo and all that stuff back. But if there was a team that needed to change their uniforms and to fit, like, could you imagine Mike Vick in brown and orange? Now, some of y'all gonna be like, yeah, and you should say yeah if you're thinking what I'm thinking, right? That color, right?
Gonna miss Fields.
But the fact that Rob turned this up to the Dragons, that uniform is hot. What you think?
Yeah,
That
definitely. Yeah,
uniform's
them
fucking
helmets,
hot.
them helmets,
It's
them
the helmets for me.
uniforms.
But the fact that he put him in the red and black, though, the fact that he put him in the red and black, in my opinion, was perfect. Like, so that's what I mean by like giving him flowers right now. I like the fact that you changed their uniforms, gave Vic a better uniform choice to look at, and it looks a little bit better seeing the lefty take off up and down the field and dot the field with that uniform out there. So I like it. You're looking at number 7, Kenneth Walker. He's been a man child this entire disc as well. We're looking at his farewell tour as well. I don't think Sharp should be on the billboard at all. Not the way that team played all year. There's no way. And a lot of it is computer love. And the 49ers can look at their future and say it's bright with Steve Young sitting there. They got an issue too because they got 2 quarterbacks. Like I could see them getting busy in the trade market and getting Cap up out of there. He'll be a good fit for somebody. All right, AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Curtis Martin. Way to home that in. That's his 3rd trophy. I mean, he done brought about 5 plaques in already, and now he's working on his 2nd trophy as he walks across the stage. And he get to hold himself in the light of, I'm a Mount Rushmore running back in the season because nobody's done what I've done in a season ever. Ever, right? Like, I'm not talking about Madden 24. I'm talking about ever. 22 receiving touchdowns, 1,300 yards, 90 catches out the backfield, and it's not like not too many people can go put up numbers like that, especially a guy that doesn't really run the ball at all. But go do that, change his whole style, and just pound and ground and pound on some Diddy shit all year. But other players had stats on this team. So it's not like it was just the Curtis Martin show, one trick pony and check Martin. None of that. It was still, you got to worry about the receiver Falk out there. You got to worry about Maurice Teller. They still had weapons that touched that 1,000-yard plateau and double-digit touchdowns. That's nuts. So shout out to Curtis Martin, right? A receiver, in my opinion, that's up and coming and over the last couple of years has really been in the forefront of wide receivers in this league is Emmett Brown for the Dragons and Coach Rob. Like, you got your 1-2 punch going on right now. So I really like that. Natron Means Jr. for the Titans. Anytime he falls in 3rd in this conversation, you know the Titans is having a good year because that's what they're based off. The fact that Natron Means Jr. is the guy, Natron Means his Fops is coming out. So he's probably going to change his name, but we're going to ride with that. How about LaDainian Thomas in Oakland?
Perfect
fit for the perfect coach for that fit, right? Deuce Page, the wide receiver in Tennessee, balled out. Randy Moss, the Chargers, and Mark Rock, the running back. We're gonna sit here for a while, right? We gotta go. Tell me, I need to see the stats.
Mark Rock.
What did Bo do with Randy Moss this year? Because he opened up the season with 12 catches and made Nano call me. That's all. I'm gonna keep going back to that. But now Randy Moss is number 6 in the AFC this year as a receiver, and it's coming from Bo. You gotta respect that. 305 representing big time right here. That's what's up.
He was 8 yards short of 1,600 on the season. 13 touchdowns with only 89 receptions. He's almost 94 yards a game.
And the good thing about that is he's gonna get comfortable. The question is, who's going to be the quarterback over there, right? That's their next move, in my opinion. But Randy Moss is going to get comfortable, and it's going to get to the point where, especially with a lot of guys dropping, he's going to be one of those guys that you have to pay attention to, because what happens with the 30-year-old drop at every position, what's going to happen is these guys are going to start looking like these guys again. Randy Moss is going to be one of the better. Like right now, with the league the way it was, it's 1,000 Randy Mosses in the league. It's at least 31 of them on somebody's team. It's one on somebody's team, right? Whether they're using them like that or not, but they're Randy Mosses all over the place. But once the drop happens, and Randy Moss stands out by himself right now. Not just Randy Moss, they also got busy with Mark Rock out of the backfield as well. And this is why they're sitting with the second seed this year. And, I want to salute not just 305, I want to salute Bo for having the character to be able to just hang in there and just continue to rock. That's why Mark Rock is in this list, because that's what he did. He rocked all year long. And he balled out, man, and it's deserving to show some love right there. So shout out to Bo. Let's look at the NFC. Oh, my bad. Offensive Player of the Year on the NFC side. All right, so Mr. Perry Walton wins his Offensive Player of the Year for the second time in his career. Again, Thunderbird had the most prolific offense all year. There was some few offensive changes that happened this year. That you saw that with the ex Bears new Thunderbird. You saw that last year late when the NFC West was giving him his flowers. You saw that late with the offensive change, and then he, second year in that system, and it's cooking right now. Right, the triangle offense. You see those guys sitting right there: Kenneth Walker the third and Jackson Smith-Njigba. We gotta salute these guys when the season is over and they're done playing football. Whether they win another Super Bowl or they go home, we're gonna have a conversation about Jackson Smith-Njigba, Kenneth Walker, and Trevor Lawrence. When we talk about that triangle offense over there, right? Justin Fields as well. Give him his proper send off. But AR-15 started off the fun and gun. The Steve, not Steve Spurrier. We're gonna call it the Jimbo. We're gonna call it the Jimbo. We can call it Fun and Gun 2. Maybe I'll give it a name eventually, but let's just base it off the Florida Gators in the '90s with Steve Spurrier out there with this Fun and Gun offense with AR-15. How about Brian Bennett, the wide receiver? Remember, this guy was the number one wide receiver in our drafts a few years ago. Fred Teller from the Rams balled out. There's our diaper dandy. Emmitt Smith had a good year. Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence, best quarterback in the league. And then Ike Hilliard, man, that Florida pipeline grade go crazy out there in LA. Jimbo, you ain't got to worry about, those guys. I'm not making Ike Hilliard, Rydell Anthony, and number 5, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I might make the white boy the right receiver. But that's your Offensive Player of the Year. So when you go offense, defense, you go Sean Teller. Rest in peace, Sean Teller. He balled out. Best defender in the league this year. He went crazy with the 18 picks. But Mike and Bison's, I'm gonna miss the Philadelphia Eagles uniforms. You got to see this uniform twice, I think, this year, right? How you feel about the Bison's uniform in Oklahoma?
That's pretty nice. I like it. Good OKC-ish. Like the Thunder.
Right. I feel you. All right. But Teller Kennedy's been a fixture in that secondary for years. So shout out to Sean Teller for winning the Defensive Player of the Year. And then we take a look down here. We take a look at Trey Wynn. Thule stepped up this year. Mike Ware been playing really well for Corey and his team. Rams DT Teller. I think I'm not going to say this is his first time being in the awards conversation and all that, but he's a fixture now at DT Teller. Them DNs is coming off the edge, and they've been playing really well for them. Matthew Sharpton, this is his second year being that guy. And how about young Brian Dawkins, man? Real quick, if any of y'all know his nickname right now, type it in the chat for a +3+3. I know it. I know Mike know it. If Mike watching, he gonna type it before anybody. But I know it. I ain't gonna say it, but I know it. And 9 and 10, you got 2 D tackles. You got a guy that came in the league on fire, and Brock Byrne. And then Mitch Copeland is balled out for the Packers. He's been balling out. That's your Defensive Player of the Years. That's all 10 of them on the list. Sean Teller takes that trophy home. And the AFC, you're looking at Defensive Player of the Year. There you go. Weapon X. There you go. There you go. Got y'all. DM me y'all player for the 3 and 3. Yep. Got y'all. All 3 of y'all. It's over with. Don't try to even post nothing else. Khalif Anderson wins Defensive Player of the Year. This D tackle that had 20 sacks on the year, bro. Make that make sense. What do you do when you playing a football team that can run you out of the gym or run you out of the field, and then not only that, they can turn it up defensively as well. They can intercept you, or they can make you make your quarterback have a long day, right? With Khalif Anderson and Jules Peppers both having 20 plus sacks on the year this year. One a D tackle, one an edge rusher, and then Aaron Glenn sitting down there at 5 at safety, picking shit off. Thurston's been picking shit off since he's been in the league, and people sleep on Emmett Smart from Maryland, but since he's been in the league since draft number 1, he's been one of the best outside linebackers that we've had, and consistent. Not gonna so he's one of the best and one of the most consistent linebackers in our league right now. Like this guy has been on the awards race every year since he's been in the league. Dolphins and Tommy Jones as well, another D line. And then you're looking at Jarek Phillips. So and when I told y'all in the beginning, what makes the Dolphins a good football team is that they can do things offensively, but they really rely on being really stingy on defense. They really can hold it down defensively, and they got playmakers that aren't names that we talk about all the time, but names that we should be talking about all the time. Especially the guys that's on this list right now because they're always on the list. Cisco having a going out party for the Jaguars, and then you got DJ Freeney playing, and then old Ryan Shazier Jr. as well for the Orbits. I can tell you this: the Orbits is always going to have a defender on an awards race list because that's what they do best, especially in the Pittsburgh, out there in old Pittsburgh Nation. They get to the quarterback. All right. Let's take a look at the rookies of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, LaDainian Tomlinson in the AFC. Speak on that. Hey, what we looking at? What did LaDainian do this year on the ground?
So what team is that?
The Raiders.
Raiders.
The Raiders.
Raiders. Shit, stacked backfield. Good God.
That backfield stacked.
Yeah, 1,474 yards, 11 tutties on 271 attempts.
Randy Moss, we already broke his numbers down. But Marshall Faulk, Marshall Faulk out the backfield and running the football third on the list in the AFC with Mike Vick right behind him. How about Andre Rison? Bad Moon Rising for the Dolphins is number 5 on this list. Edgerrin James for the Colts. He's right back at where he goes, a legacy player. How about Chris Carter though? All he do is catch touchdowns, right? And Mark did a pretty good job on him. You got Ozzie Newsome for the Jaguars, Reggie Wayne for the Chiefs. Shout out to Nano for having a receiver on this list, and Marvin Harrison, the Marvin Harrison, Marvelous Marvin Harrison for the Colts as well. Yes, sir. Reggie Wayne, the Miami the Miami U receiver, Reggie fucking Wayne, and
I haven't seen that since
the Chiefs.
The Bengals had a 6'6" wide receiver, man.
Man, right? God damn. Marvin. So they're your top rookies in the AFC. Man. It gotta be the Eclipse, man. That shit moved the meter. Put the world in unbalanced world.
Out of balance, yeah.
That's shit. He wilding right now. How about Fred Teller though, man? Freaky Fred Teller, number 1 in the rookies over there in the NFC. Emmitt Smith right behind him. Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson. Let's just talk right there. Your top 4 players, rookies, diaper dandies, the legacy and legends, and we looking at some Mount Rushmores as well as some some dogs. Like Fred Teller Day is coming. Emmett is Mount Rushmore. Barry is Mount Rushmore. I don't think Bo Jackson is Mount Rushmore. He's a legend, but Mount Rushmore I don't think. But I think it was the perfect fit for where he went and who he had with him. Remember, we talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having one of the better drafts, one of the better legend drafts of the 2030 draft, along with the Cardinals. But Bo Jackson, you talk about it, hit it. Let's give me a memory in the game that y'all played with Bo Jackson on the field.
Bo, first carry of the game, 80 yards?
80 out the gate, looking like Bo. Like we ain't run a 4-1 for nothing. Like I'm the one that ran a 4-1. How about Jerry Rice in Minnesota though at number 5? You got Chris Johnson out of the backfield. I played Chris Johnson this year. He took a 75-yarder to the crib on me, broke 2 tackles, and was nice like this. I wish raindrops will fall. And I'm fast on defense. I'm like, God damn. How about Lynn Swan for the Buccaneers? Michael Irvin for the Lions, Terrell Owens for the 49ers, legacy player, and Deuce McAllister takes over the backfield for the New Orleans Saints. I think Deuce is loose, bro. I think we're going to have an issue over there in the Saints. They went from their breadwinner, their Hall of Fame running back, to they about to build another Hall of Fame running back. That's what the Saints do. They build running backs. So shout out to the Saints and Deuce over there doing what they do. All right, let's talk about the NFC Defensive Rookies of the Year. And you start with no other than Sean Teller. And you said it. The first three were safeties. Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, and John Lynch knocking helmets off. All big-time hitters at the safety position. Sean Teller, Brian Dawkins, and John Lynch are those guys that knock helmets off in our era. Junior Seau for the Packers, man, rest in peace, Junior Seau at the middle linebacker. Jared Allen gives the Giants and Lava a legit edge rusher. Lawrence Teller played for the Cowboys and not the Giants, and I gotta say Lawrence is not just in Mount Rushmore, but you can see big things happening next year for Lawrence Teller and the Cowboys with one full season under their belt. How about Ken Houston for the Commanders at 7 on this list, along with J.J. Watt for the Giants? So the Giants they gonna just get ugly like that. Like really, they went and got not only they got the two best white boy rushers in the league, Jared Allen and J.J. Watt, not playing with you, and then Charles Woodson for the Bisons. Mike getting it together over there. Y'all got some shit in y'all NFC division, NFC East. I mean, god damn. And little man Zach Thomas, who was rocking at Miami for the Miami Dolphins his career, but boy, don't let Mama Controller die. Fuck with y'all. We're here still. All right. So with that being said, though, give me a second to charge this bitch. With that being said, break bread. With that being said, drop dead Fred. With that being said, we back in the building. There's a lot of NFC East guys on this list right here for Rookies of the Year. Does that mean that the future's bright in the NFC East, Hitter?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you can
I
say
guess
that.
you can say that shit, huh? How about little man, rest in peace, Sam Mills? The Chargers fucked around this year. Sam Mills is up here at Defensive Rookie of the Year. He takes home that trophy as he walks his ghost across the screen and salute us. Reggie White, Mount Rushmore. How about Eric Berry? We traded Eric Berry, and his ass is number 3 on this list. God damn. Champ Belly for the Bengals. Jack Lambert goes to a legacy, right? The old Pittsburgh Steelers. They just the orbit. They just the what can we say? On your ass orbits. No Diddy on your ass orbits. Jack Lambert. You got the Dominic Sue for the Titans and Richard Sherman on his list for the Titans. How about Michael Strahan for the Raiders, and then the Dragons, Rondé Barber, and then Ravens, Terrell Suggs, legacy player, are your top 10 AFC. There's some names on this bitch. Oh my God. Shout out to the rookies in the AFC and the NFC with Sam Mills taking that trophy home. All right, best quarterback in the AFC this year was Michael fucking Vick. Shout out to Michael Vick, man. He said it's up. That's all he said. Look, man, next season is up. We got the 3 amigos over here in Dragon Lair. We got the Dragon Slayers. We're gonna call them the Knights of the Round Table. Michael Vick being what's the guy's name? Arthur. He's being Arthur. Sir Arthur, right? Michael Vick. Marshall, and Antonio Gates. Don't forget, Antonio Gates is over there. So shout out to Michael Vick. We're not going to go through every quarterback. We're just going to take a look at them. Marino Jr., Jada Styles, Justin Herbert, Woodrow Dantzler, Patrick Richardson, Najee Israel, Sean Archer, and Lamar Jackson. And we got a few farewell tours. Lamar Jackson is a farewell tour. Justin Herbert's a farewell tour. Dan Marino getting close. And the new boys and Michael Vick and them guys. Let's look at the NFC. And we're looking at best quarterback Justin Fields, farewell tour. tour. Anthony Richardson and Trevor Lawrence all farewell, but then the young gunners are in Steve Young. You got Ryan Reynolds, Willie Beeman, Brock Purdy. That's a farewell tour. My man Kevin Harvey, New Jersey State scoring leader, lost one game in his whole high school career. Tom Brady, the young Tom Brady, is back. Let's go for the Detroit Lions. And my boy Drew Raines still been balling. He been turned Drew into a different monster with this quarterback. That quarterback receiver connection over there in Green Bay is serious. Best running backs in the NFC. You start with Kenneth Walker III. And if you ain't talking about a guy that's, 1,000-yarder back out of the backfield catching the ball, 90 to 100 catches every year, you're also talking about a guy that can get you anywhere between 12 to 1,700 yards rushing as well. And we salute him for his farewell tour, way to take home the hardware. Emmitt Smith, Fred Teller, Barry Sanders in that order. How about Steve Hutton? Because there's a running back that's a legend over there in Thunderbird Nation, but they haven't played him yet. And they got a really good back over there that just hasn't seen the field yet. B. John Robinson is on his way out the door as well. Shout out to B. John for holding it down for 9 seasons. Chris Johnson, the speed demon. Bo Jackson, the speed demon. Deuce McAllister is everything in between the tackle back, and then the Cowboys, Kenny Shaw, holding it down at number 10 right now. Man of many reasons. I need a reason. All right, Curtis Martin, all-world Curtis Martin broke every record of the man, known as Natron Means number 2. Joe Jackson, Bo Knows is the man of Damian Thomason. Mr. Mark Rock, AI, the factor back there in Devin Duncan, Marshall, Edgerrin James, and Quan Oldham are your top 10 running backs, with Martin taking home the hardware. At the receiver position, Emmett Brown takes home his first hardware as a receiver in the AFC, and he said that the fact that he won this award solidifies him as a top 5 receiver this year, period. Somebody got to dethrone him for right now because he's balling. He is the number 1 receiver in Dragon Nation. Wait, where is the Dragons from? Ain't that San Antonio Dragons?
Yeah.
Deuce Page, veteran, Randy Moss. You got Andrew Ross. He used to be the fastest motherfucker on the planet. Reggie Moss is still here. Will Falk is that guy. Devin Hester Jr. is in the building. Antoine Justice, Andre Bad Moon Rising, and Cali, Chris Johnson. So the Nano had 2 receivers in the building. You think Nano? NFC, your wide receivers are as follow. Perry Walton, Mr. Slot Machine, Jackson Smith Najigba, Brian Bennett, Ike Hilliard, Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, Lynn Swan, Terrell Owens, Art Monk, and Jaquez Green. Bro, all dogs, all names, whether they were dogs in college or dogs in the league. All dogs on this bitch. Oh my God. And just think about it. How many of these young guys are going to move us into ushers in a new era? Because Brian Bennett is still a young boy. Ike Hilliard, Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, Lynn Swan, Owens, they all diaper dandies with Art Monk. And you're looking at Jaquez Green, diaper dandy as well. They go number 5. Shout out to the NFC. And those receivers look good over here. Shit. So how was Art Monk for you, man?
Oh, he's pretty good. Nice compliment to Butter.
I mean, with Butter over there, he gonna have to replace one of those 3. Remember, they had them 3 receivers that was nasty in the early '90s, late '80s, right?
Mm-hmm. Ricky Sanders, Art Monk, and Gary Clark.
Yep. We had to get those guys back together out there, and just Butter Baker's a part of that. Yes, sir. All right. Offensive line. Let's see if we got how many diaper dandies made this offensive line. Well, first of all, we're looking at Daniel Gray. Shout out to the Oilers for having the number 1 and 2 offensive linemen in the AFC. Torrance for the Bills. The Oilers had the 4th guy, Brandon Johnston. Dolphins were Walt Fitzsimmons. I remember he drafted him. You got Andrew Thomas, diaper dandy, Travis Matlock, Derek Saunders, Drew Edmonds, and DeJuan Jones for the Dragons holding it down. NFC, where the diaper dandies at? You got Zach Silver for the Falcons. The Lions with Simpson. Westerman for the Thunderbirds. Cook for the Thunderbirds. Lions, Bonds, You got Pat Coon for the Falcons. Falcons holding it down. Ian Gray, Panthers. Thunderbird, Levy. Thunderbirds and the Falcons got 3 apiece. Raymond Grant, and then you're looking at Dalton Walker. Best D lineman in the NFC, Thule is number 1, and DT Teller. Both are St. Louis Rams. Thunderbirds, Matthew Sharpton. Packers, Mitch Copeland. Seahawks, Brock Barnes. Bobby Kellum, always on this list. You got Eric Ezerma for the Vikings. Mike Ellison, a newcomer for the Seahawks, holding down the other edge with Superman over there. Where's Superman? He ain't on here. Junior Bradford and Rick Terry are your top defensive linemen in the NFC. The AFC are as follows. Khalil Anderson, D tackle. Jarek Felix, DJ Freeney, Mean Joe Green, Philip Cohen, Andre Wadsworth, he balled out this year for us. Emmanuel Teller for the Chargers. Dolphins had Justin Ryland. Reggie White made this list, and then C-Nell Suggs, one of the twins. His brother Cooley played well this year as well. Best linebackers in the AFC. George Peppers, the second, went crazy. Emmett Smart, we already talked about him and Tommy Jones. You know what they do. Mr. Shazier Jr. balled out for the on your ass Orbits. Dragons and Randy Sinclair. He a dog. He's been a dog since he stepped in the league. Since Rob drafted him, he's been a dog. Emmett Favors for the Patriots. You got Justin Houston Jr. for the Chiefs. Chargers, Sam Mills. Derek Thomas III, and Jarvis Kitchens, all on this list. You notice the Dolphins got 3 dogs at linebacker. And every year those 3 are in the awards race. Make it the fuck make sense. All right, Maurice Stevenson at linebacker for the Seahawks. Young talent, too. Lawrence Teller, we know what that's about. We got Callum Meredith, young gunner as well. Archie Bowman for the Panthers. DeMarcus Ware for the 49ers. Deion Mason for the Cowboys. John Klump. John Klump look like he a murderer. Jason Garland at middle linebacker along with Junior Seau and Zach Thomas for the Cowboys. Shout out to the Cowboys with Mason and Thomas on this list. Best DBs in the league. Sean Teller, safety. Kennedy, safety. Wynn, safety. Mike Ware, or Wynn might be a corner. I think Mike Ware is safety. Or is Wynn a safety? You said the top 3 were safeties, right? Hightower and Lynch. So you're looking at the Thunderbirds with back-to-backies. Watch this. You're looking at Trey Wynn. They are playing great football on both sides of the ball. Mike Ware, both in their safety department, or I think Wynn might be a corner. I'm not sure. But Hightower and Lynch, I know they safeties. Then you're looking at Weapon X and Brian Dawkins, Connor Daniels. I mean, how many DBs this man got up here? He fucking went through the league and murdering motherfuckers. God damn. And Trail Roll, and then Malachi Barrett holding it down. Malachi Barrett is a name that's been around for a little bit as well, making plays. In the AFC, you're looking at Aaron Glenn Jr. holding it down. Edwin Thurston's been that guy since he drafted him. Cisco's rejuvenized his career for a season, but Brent English held it down for the Ravens. Larry Howard, cornerback for the Titans. Primetime 2. Balled out for the Ravens as well. The Oilers, Charlie Strong at the safety position. How about Ms. Foe for the Jaguars? We got Brandon Merriweather and Anthony Spruce holding it down for the Colts. Your kicker award goes to Ted DiOrio. Shout out to my boy, high school kicker. Kick a 50-yarder easy in high school. And then the NFC, your kicker is as follows. Jason Sanders for the Rams. Both of them walking across the stage, holding down trophies. Let's do that song, Trophies. So that's your award winner. Shout out to all the award winners this year now. Let's clean things up right now and go to the NFL record book. We have to take a look at season stats right now. Quarterback, passing yards, Dan Marino holds that down. Herbert had the next 2. Passing touchdowns on the year, Marino with 101. And he's 90, he 94, 89, 86, 82 before he turned it over to the Seahawks for 81. Rushing yards in the season, Oilers 3,327, shatters that record. Wins the rushing title, rushing touchdown leader by 3. Receiver, Will Falk still holding that down with 3,135 yards in the season in 2026. Touchdowns, he holds that down with 55 in 2026.
This man Statty Patty, he really Statty Patty.
That's why I named the show Statty Patty. He really Statty Patty, but then you can't sleep on the jig. But look, 30 in 2029 he was there, and 25 he was there, 23, 26 he was there, and 28 he was there. Walton in his short career was there in 29, and there in 31 this year. So shout out to them guys. Catches on the year. Anybody did anything over here? Look at Finney. Finney had 161 fucking catches in a year, bro. Kai Fo had 159. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not. Nowhere near the 128 we had this season.
Jesus. Defensive sacks. 2030, the Packers had 23. Strahan balled out. No, that was back then in 22. Allen in 2011. 2027, you had Watt Jr., Orbit, 22 sacks. Tooley this year had 22, along with Peppers with 22, and Reggie White back in the day with 21. God damn. And the INT, Sean Teller leads that with 18 in one season. Bryce Hall for the Chargers at 17. 2026, Falk did that. Brent English had 17 and 28. Kennedy had 17 and 31. 31. Rod Woodson, the Orbit Jr. Rod Woodson had 16 and 28. Fitzpatrick had 15 and 27. We all holding that down. Roey Israel in his rookie year had 15. Rod Woodson did it again in 2030 with 15. Trey Wynn had 15 in 2031. And then our next guy was Night Train Lane. All right, that's
long time ago.
Long time ago. Let's look at some in-game shit.
1900s.
809 in stats, right? Dan Marino Jr. did it 2026 and 25 back-to-back years, 2 for 8 in the game. Get out of here, goddammit. Passing touchdowns, Marino threw 13 in the game. Lawrence threw 12 in the game. Then you had Childs, Herbert, Marino. Lawrence did it twice. Back-to-back years. Ray Wills played for the Bills and did it. Well, he played for the Bills now, but he did it for the Lions. And Marino and Najee had 10. So, rushing yards in the game. 414 for the Chiefs, 2026. 2031, 376 for Martin. Jesus Christ. I got you, Ray. Soon we looking at teams now to see who wasn't active this year. Dobbins in 2025, 359 and 30. Bo Knowles had 340. Chase Brown did it for the Bengals, 335, and he did it again in 26, 332. A-Chain 330 in the game at 24. B. John did it in 2023 with 328. When Shoguns had him. Jonathan Teller in 2023, 327. And B. John did it again, 324. R touchdown. So you had Thunderbirds, Chase Brown. Chase Brown still in the league. As a Bengal, he scored 8. Pollard had 7 in 2023. 1929 Nevers.
The 1900s.
Right, the 1900s. All right, so when you have a 3,000-yard season, you got to have a big-time game in it, and Reggie Moss did it in 2026 with 479.
That's the other Moss.
Yeah, Reggie Moss.
Reggie.
Will Falk had 454 in the game. Kai Fo had 423 in the game. Reggie did it again in 2027 with 392. Reggie did it again with 381, 2026. In 2024, Burns, 374. Reggie did it in 2025 with 363. Mitchell for the Chargers had 2026. He went 360. Hutchinson's, my boy Hutchins, 356. I was mad as hell when he got him. And then Nook Walls had a 355-yard game in 2026. Touchdowns, Will Falk, 7 in the game. Jackson did it. Look at this. Jackson did it 6. Burns has 6. Oilers, Will Falk did it again with 6. Bryant just did it a couple years ago with 6. Jackson did it in 28, 29, and 30. Mm-mm-mm. Then we go to the 1900s. Catches in a year, 22.
This is a game.
In a game, 22. Brandon Marshall did it in 2009. And Percy just did it week 18 against the Houston Texans. Me and Harold played. He had 21 catches. Percy now has arrived. We didn't play Percy until like the last 5 games. Owens in 2000, Chargers. Finney did it in 19. He did it with the Rams though in 2026. Petty 2029. 1900s, early 2000s, and Kaifo 18. Sacks in the game, 1990, 1983, 1998, 2007, 2017. Nobody did it in our era. That's crazy. Witherspoon had 5 in 2023. Ashton Davis had 5 in 2025. Bryce Hall had 5 in 2026. Brent English had 5 in 2028. Noah Sewell had 5 in 2029. And then we hit the 1900s. All right. Now, let's get to the last conversation of the night, and it's the playoffs. Playoffs? We talking about playoffs?
They are who we thought they were.
First of all, I shout out the Panthers for being in the playoffs for the first time in their career in the 9 seasons, as well as the Chargers. Shout out to both those franchises for making their playoffs for the first time. Chargers with the number 2 seed. They'll be playing home as long as they play, and they don't have to play the Oilers. They'll have home field advantage. But they are going up against the very, very hot Dragons, in my opinion, with Michael Vick. I think Rob can't wait for this game. And if I'm Bo, I can't wait for this game.
Show and prove, baby.
Show and prove. If you arrive, look, you already arrived. You already exceed the expectations. Now go out there and steal a win or two. Because I got to say this. The away team, the 7th seed in this game, is going to be the favorite in this game, period. So it's going to be up for the Chargers to feel like they don't have no respect from nobody in the social media era. Nobody in the league is going to pick them to win this ball game. And that should be enough to put a chip on your shoulder to go out there and show them why you're the 2nd seed this year. We have a relatively unknown Jacksonville Jaguar team sitting at 3, and they're playing a divisional rival at 6. So the 3 and the 6 seed are playing, and then you go down to 4 and 5, and man, this is a hell of a matchup early. Ravens and the Dolphins. So when you take a look at the matchups in the wildcard round, Chargers, Dragons, Jaguars, Titans, Ravens, Dolphins. Talk to me here. Then when you look at those matchups, what's the game you're looking at? Want to see the most?
Ooh. The game I want to see the most is going to be the 4-5 game in the AFC side, followed by that 2-7 game.
I'm in agreement with you. I think the 4-5 game is going to be lights out right away. It's going to be a game, right? Two guys that are familiar with each other, and 2 dogs in this league going to go at it head to head there. And the sad part about it is 2 of the best teams in the AFC are going to play themselves right away. Let me ask you this: is the pressure? If I'm Bo, I don't think there's no pressure on me.
No pressure.
There's none. The pressure is on the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, you did amazing this season. I mean, beyond expectations. Come down to the last game of the season where you had to play the number 1 seed in NFC, and y'all both had the same record.
All right, so let's talk about it. If the Chargers was to win this game, what would be the storyline? Would the storyline read Chargers continue showing who they are, or would it be the Dragons ultimate failed game?
I think it would be the Chargers saying, "Look, this ain't a fluke." You
I
saying
I
fluke?
want to agree
I'm
with you.
here. I'm here with you.
I want to agree with you, but I think the buzz is going to be more around the Dragons losing this ball
I
game
mean,
versus the
they
Chargers
they
winning
do
it.
got a rookie quarterback.
I
This
don't
is
give
the
a fuck if they
playoffs.
started this kicker at quarterback. He lose that game,
It's the playoffs,
motherfucking.
man.
Listen, if I'm Rob, I'm comfortable though. Rob got to come into this game feeling really
Chargers
good.
extinguished the dragons.
Oh,
Ooh, ooh.
they
I
say they
mean,
say they say the dragons can't fly in a thunderstorm.
listen, 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 listen. There's some punch behind that comment, but that's a guy riding with his boy like he's supposed to. They don't got the title 30. I mean, the numbers 305 next to their names in the chat just to be having it next to their name. They ride with each other, right? That's his guy. They make the most deals out of their crew when it come down to motherfucking helping each other move around and do some things. Boom. So you gotta ride with him. But listen, my thing is this: great season, bro. Continue to play. Go out there and do the unexpected because outside of Jimbo and the rest of your 305 boys, I don't think too many people are expecting you to win this game,
Bet
which puts
305
you
bet
in a
different.
good
Will
situation.
dragons burn the boats?
Yeah. So in my opinion, I'm putting the pressure on my boy. Why my boy? Because he in my division. And what? Just take that one right there. Damn, this look good as hell. I'm ready to fuck this up.
I'm not sleeping on Go. At Robert Woods,
Hey,
7 points.
nah, don't do that, Jimbo. We not letting nobody be fake tonight. I know it ain't labeled the Purple Smoke Show, but Rob, you ain't worried at all. Knock it the fuck off, man. Stop it. You ain't worried at all. And Jimbo, you just gonna hype your boy up. Don't 100 him, Jim. Stop that shit. Fuck that. You make sure Bo is prepared to play this fucking game. And Rob, you better not go out there and fucking lose this game. That's all I know.
Don't want to lay a brick. Don't want to lay a
Cause
brick.
I know deep in your heart you might not be counting it as a win. I think you have a little bit more uh understanding of yourself to be able to be like you ain't gonna be your arrogant ass cousin and be like, yeah, that's gonna be an 80 burger like you did Mike. Like, yeah, nah. In the chat, like, yeah, nah, going to the second round, I ain't gonna be. You ain't gonna do that. Y'all cut from the same cloth, but not the same cloth. That makes sense. Uh, but you ain't worried. You have expectations of I'm winning this ball game, in my opinion. But you know anything can happen. It is the playoffs and it is Madden. But I don't think you scared, worried, thinking you're not going. I think you worrying about who the fuck you play next round. And to be honest with you, you like fuck it. I get through the round one, and then we just gonna have to line up with. Because if you win, you're playing. You're going to Houston. Simple as that. But if you lose, boy, well, you're not going to get too much hell because everybody that's around right now, and actively playing right now, there ain't no dickheads. If Snake was active, if he wasn't a decade if my boy Snake was around, and you lost this fucking game, boy, oh my God. What do you do? I do know this. Bo ain't going to have shit to lose. He going to go out there and just play football. And let the motherfucking chips fall where they may fall. So we sleeping on 3-6 though, hitter. We
Oh
don't
no,
know.
I
We
ain't
don't
sleeping
know
with
who
them at all.
Roger is. See, I know Roger want to
He's a
prove
new
something.
user. Yeah, he a new
Yeah,
user.
he want to prove something. I don't duck smoke. I try to play all my games. Y'all can't be mad at me for getting forced wins. And I'm in the playoffs and I'm playing somebody active. And at the end of the day, I'm about to show y'all who I am, right? So he got to come in with that type of
Dad send
attitude.
death throw to Randy loudly crying face
He's a
loudly
sleeper.
crying face loudly crying face.
Jaguars are sleeper.
And then Albert is in a situation where like we just been waiting for you to take over this division. I mean, you got to think about it. You came in, we gave you a chance even when Antonio was still in it, and we was giving you time to catch up to the game because you took a couple of disc off. But then Antonio slid out. The Colts ain't playing good football. You got a new Texans user, and the Jaguars wasn't playing at all. So we looking at you, Albert. Like, when are you going to take over this division? Because I feel like you're capable of doing so. And then the new Jaguars come in, and we like, who's this guy? He's sitting with 3 losses on the year. And it's like, okay, who the fuck is this guy? Well, we're going to find out. Now, you guys played twice this year. I don't know if y'all played both those games or, or Forrest Wynn was giving up 50-50. I don't know. But I do know y'all ain't missing this playoff game and shit about to go the fuck down. So who's who? Is Natron Means and Deuce Page that guy with Woodrow Dantzler, the old Clemson quarterback, throwing that thing around? Or is Jada Styles going to go freaky crazy over there with the real prime time in the secondary over there? I want to know. I need answers. Hey, what you think about that matchup?
Well, 3-6.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a good matchup. I hope we get to watch it.
Man, right? I'm telling you now, I ain't playing my game. Hoodie, you better not fucking, you better save that bitch and play it later. I don't want no issues, my boy. None. I don't need no bew.
Just about the whole year.
I tell you one thing, Raj. You're not going to better sneak up on the Titans. But if you win, you're going to better sneak up on the rest of us.
Storm is coming with a lot of lightning high voltage.
There you go. My boy Bo. There you go.
We trust.
Yes, sir. Erica, you got faith in the new. Roger ain't not super new. Roger's been around. Just haven't been in the league in a while. The crazy thing is, Rod, you've been missing out, bro. Because I can confidently say there ain't a fuck when it come down to this league shit. Our league be chipping because of the niggas in our league. Them same niggas in the league can have you wanting to fucking choke somebody as well, though. Don't get it fucked up. But that's what makes the league good. Are you ready to make a name for yourself? Get out the window, crazy. Because the whole league gonna be watching. And Albert, don't let somebody. It's your time to shine right now, Albert. That's all I'm gonna say to you. I'm not gonna put no pressure on you, but it's your time. When are you going to be the face of the AFC? Yeah, you definitely do. We got some guys trying to get in. Ray trying to get back. You got motherfucking Patsy trying to get over here. Some guys trying to get over here right now. So y'all act inactive ass niggas. Y'all got some looking in the mirror to do. Even my damn cousin about to get booted. Bring Tata and Randy back every year for a season, huh, Erica? No, never fucking play. That's 2 teams. Randy already gone. The Falcons about to be up for grabs. I'm telling you right now. There's been highlights to this year, I'll tell you that. Like, Jackson Smith-Njigba had 130 catches on the year. Jackson Smith-Njigba had 28 touchdowns on the year.
I'm here for NCAA and
we literally just watched motherfucking AR-15 literally compete all the way up to week 15. Heard the 30-year-olds getting dropped, and Danny Wolf will come in and go 12 for 12 on some bullshit. The fuck is going on in this league? But then you get Curtis Martin. This motherfucker scored 41 rushing touchdowns, 3,000 plus yards rushing, 1,300 receiving yards, and 22 fucking receiving touchdowns. Like, if that ain't dick riding, like, that's them check Henry shit. Like, we had some shit that go on, right? Sean Teller, 18 picks on a year, excuse me. Man, I mean, it was been up and down. I mean, we saw Michael Vick in week 17 get the shit beat out of him. But in that game, he looked like the best player on the field at times. Like, shit get scary hours. We need Snake to get back active so we can get the motherfucking Venom show again. and we can get Snake back into it. I think he got the quarterback that can help him out right now, and he got a 6'8" receiver over there that should not be able to be stopped at all. And then Bo Nose is in the backfield, and yeah, Unk's still screaming he ain't been around in the offs in a decade. We need my boy back. We got Bo at the number 2 seed, and the Panthers are the number 4 seed. Los and Bo are in the playoffs in 2031. You can't tell me it ain't scary hours right now. Max gave up 70 to the Seahawks. That fucking rival is fucking like a ball. Think about. Remember back in the day, our bike tires once they got bald. How many of y'all put the quarter juices in the frame of your tire and shit and made it sound like a bike? That's the sound that the Seahawks made when they just put 79 up on the 49ers. Like a dog, and listen, a dog don't get beat like that. Now, I got my ass whooped too. Corey beat the shit out of me this year. Like shit crazy right now. I mean, we Falk has won the Russian title. Like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, just last year, Jimbo had a white boy in the backfield running the ball, and there wasn't motherfucking McCaffrey. Like we just where he come from. Like where he 280 yards in the playoffs. Like just think about what's going on right now. We are in 2031, the season where opening week, everybody was excited to knock games out, and Nano was crying to me. Yo, man, the fuck is going on? The Chargers is whooping my ass right
I'm
now. We
getting
gotta
my
look at my
ass whooped
team,
right
man.
now, man. I can't do this right
By
now.
week 4, he sent me memes of tanks running over motherfucking North North Korea and shit. Oh my god. He had motherfucking line of tanks riding through the city on me. Like I said, yeah, my boy, tank mode it is. I mean, the LA Rams said we tired of sharing. Even though we share players and trades and shit with the Chargers, we tired of staring stadium. They go to St. Louis, which caused the Oakland Raiders to go back to Oakland and say we don't like this Vegas shit. We're going back to Oakland. Then the Houston Oilers is up on the scene, and the next thing you know, we got the Thunderbirds, the Dragons, the Bisons, the Orbits. Like shit, real right now. I mean, just 3 days ago, niggas was in the chat like, don't turn this shit into the XFL. Come on, man. What we doing here? It's scary hours right now. And the icing on the cake, I've lost 5 Super Bowls this year. I mean, I gave a first one out on one, but I lost 4 fucking Super Bowls this year.
What is hell?
God damn. Information is vital. I mean, we in a year right now where Max just lost by 7. I mean, he got his ass whipped by the Seahawks and got to go right back to that fucking stadium. Think about that. And he ain't going into that game thinking about him getting his ass whipped, because at any moment that could still be a win for the 49ers if you really think about that. Like, this is the matchup Jimbo been waiting for. Now here's why. Let's talk about it. Right? I don't give a fuck about feelings unless I have to give a fuck about feelings. Now y'all make that make sense. Jimbo said my nemesis is Max in these playoffs. Jimbo said, I know how to line this shit up. Let's go. That matchup up top right there gives him his first run where he ain't got to play a gauntlet while playing a gauntlet in the regular season, gauntlet in the playoffs. Because think about what I'm ready to say right now. Them two going to beat up on each other, right? Now, if you go by records, Craig has dominated Max all this. And he put the icing on the cake with the 79-point game. Craig don't want to see Jimbo at all, but this is the crazy thing. I'm not saying it like I'm scared of. He rather not have to see Jimbo until he has to see Jimbo. Jimbo want to see Craig though, and he know that path is headed right to that if everything line up the way it's supposed to line up. The Green Bay Packers is sitting here right after his birthday, like, oh, I got the Commanders. I just beat the shit out of him, not knowing that It's the playoffs, and that win don't mean shit. And this is the first time hitters in the playoffs without playing one of the three.
Yay.
Playoff.
Meanwhile, the Panthers get to celebrate being in the playoffs until kickoff. And then he gonna be right back in chat when them games getting played. Cause you're not stopping that fun and gun offense. I'm telling you right now. There ain't gonna be too many people stopping that shit this year. And just because Falk has won the rushing title and shattered that bitch, broke every rushing record known to man, and the MVP with his running back. If you pay attention, Dan Marino's still Dan Marino Jr. But he struggled this year while they found their run game. The passing game wasn't that what he's used to it being. It's hard to do that with 376 carries, right? He ran Curtis Martin motherfucking sneaks off until his feet stunk. And it's fine. But if you go into that game thinking, oh my God, Curtis Martin, and forget that his quarterback is the only quarterback in the league that threw for 109 touchdowns back-to-back years, and that he had 4 receivers, 1 tight end and 3 receivers that go over 1,000 and double-digit touchdowns every year, go ahead and line up and stop, put 8 and 9 in the box if you want to. Now just think about a guy like that putting that together. Jimbo's offense has been being tweaked with and worked with the entire dish, but this is the first one that he finally woke up to himself and said, you know what, this is it, and we're going to put this together. Here's the blueprint, Ant. I'm talking to you, and let's the fuck go. Help from Canada. That set the whole season off. That's why the Chargers are sitting right there at 2. Well, he's sitting at 2 because my first 6 games was internets.
Rolling on the floor, laughing.
We got the fun and gun offense going up against a man-to-man based defense in the Panthers. We got the Green Bay Packers. What kind of O they got? They kind of are, I want to call it, huh?
A mixed bag.
Yeah, a little bit of mixed bag. I like that. And he going up against a coach you can't get film on. You hit a broadcast every one of his games, but his offense, him and Rob might change their offenses more than Max. Max don't know what the fuck he doing this year. He don't got a clue what to run this year. He ain't up on shit. He has no info, no nothing. I don't know where my boy Max been at all. He should type his name in the chat. Let me know he the fuck here. But he don't know who the fuck he is. But can he find himself one time for 3 games? Can he find himself for 3 games? If anybody listening right now think that he can't, and I don't really fuck with my nigga right now. That's my little bro, and we don't really kick it like we did. I've been mad at him, and he been kind of motherfucking high in front of me and shit, bitch ass nigga. But I'll be a liar to say he can't run through these playoffs and be right in the Super Bowl this year. Meanwhile, Corey is beating everybody the fuck up. Like, I'm talking about, like, this is the year, and this is the year of new everything. Like, this is what makes us who we are. The top guys find challenges by doing different shit. We got Falk winning the rushing title, Jimbo running the fun and gun offense. Corey has I still don't know his what I want to call his offense yet, but he's getting there. He's getting to a name. I'll give him a name in a second, but that offense is fucking dangerous. It's scary and it's good and it's consistent. I think Hoodie really wins off of defense, and Hoodie will check you down all game long and then get a turnover to on defense, and you can't score on his D. And it starts with that linebacker level. It's just that simple. Stopping a run and making you one-dimensional. Rob has changed his offense 9 straight seasons. and hit the jackpot by drafting the motherfucker Mike Vick. It's going to change him over there. We don't know who the Jags is. Nobody knows what they really getting out of the Jags. And if Albert, Perry Walton in the Blue Notes, they got the motherfucker PWB offense, the PWB. And then you got the Titans. If they can run the ball, they can win the ball game. It comes down to that, right? And then Bo is in this bitch with the height. Throw that bitch up. Go get it, Randy. Go fucking get it. Ooh. Simple as that. It's a lot going on right now, man. And then y'all understand why we are Greg going to season 10 right now. There's a reason, man. The Ravens with the go-go offense. This is gonna be fun.
Ready for 25.
I need film to watch, baby. And then look, it get more interesting because just think about what I'm going to say right now. This is a great fucking playoff series to be able to. It's going to be some stories written, right? It's going to be stories written, and then everybody's players damn near getting dropped. There's going to be a lot of guys getting dropped.
Seahawks by 20.
It's going to be a lot of players getting dropped, and then it's going to be the true reset.
Said Seahawks by 20.
I mean, 79-26. Why wouldn't it? Strange things are going. Are you coming to DC? They say they're from they say they're about 3. Strange things are coming here. How wonder can you be to bring Green Bay to the city of DC? With the Oilers and the Thunderbirds waiting for their opponents in the second round. And hits the franchise guru. With that being said, if you ain't see it from the beginning, go back and watch it. Really good show. Appreciate what we're doing. This will not be a week worth of playoffs happening. Get these games knocked the fuck out. Y'all have until tomorrow, late at the latest, 9 o'clock for these games to be played. Knock them out. 9:30 can be the latest game played. And if you don't play tomorrow, we're hitting the league. Ain't no waiting. We're going 24 hours and we're getting this shit knocked the fuck out. It has to be something really, really, really in the way for me to say, all right, we'll hold it. Other than that, I'll holler at y'all when we holler at y'all. You heard?